Let's talk to Craig Erlam. He is a senior market analyst at OANDA. Very good morning to you, young Craig.
Good morning, mate.
Okay, we've got two slides to run through. Let's kick off with the first one, the Aussie against the US dollar. A nice smooth downtrend. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think it looks quite straightforward, this chart. We've seen this nice downtrend for quite some time now, a number of months, and it doesn't look to be weakening just yet. You don't want to be that person, obviously, who decides that they are a seller at the bottom, but naturally we're not seeing any reason to be anything but bearish still for now. You can see from the momentum indicators at the bottom there's very little give at this moment in time. Of course, I do think that may change in the not too distant future, but for now it just still continues to look continues to look weak, and if we can see a breakthrough the 72-73 region, then maybe that'll give us some cause for bullishness, but for now that's just not materializing.
Understood. Okay, well that's pretty straightforward. Let's talk about something slightly more complicated, the Great British Pound against the US dollar. Cable, what are your thoughts at these sort of levels?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've said before how the pound is so volatile because it's so politically driven, and the politics seems to change from day to day, and the commentary we get out seems to have massive influences, and we've seen the same right now. What's interesting with this is that we've started to see this break high. We've taken out some interesting technical levels, and we're awaiting confirmation, really. Yeah, we had a little pullback over a couple of weeks ago, but we do seem to have rebounded higher and not hit the previous low, so that's quite an interesting signal in itself. I think if we can see a breakthrough 133, 134, then that should start to give us some real nice bullish signals, potentially suggest that we're seeing some progress, some real progress on Brexit, and given the commentary which we've had out now over the last 24 hours or so, maybe traders are looking at this and thinking this is going to come sooner rather than later.
Understood. In terms of the markets this morning, anything to report?
This morning markets are just very mixed. We had very little guidance from Asia overnight. We saw very mixed markets there. Opened a little bit flat in Europe as well. I still think people are on tenterhooks. We're looking at the main stories right now. We're not seeing much development. Italy's still a big concern for the EU, and I think yields on this side are going to remain a key focal point. Over in the US, again, the pace of tightening. Trump seemed to take some of the heat out of the dollar overnight by once again complaining about the Federal Reserve potentially overstepping his mark, but that's taken some heat out of the dollar, which has allowed some reprieve. That may last in the short term, but if we continue to see strong economic figures and more hawkish commentary from the Fed, then I don't think the traders will take too long to jump back in on that one.
Understood. On that note, Craig, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.